And we're recording once again. Good morning, Ken. How are you?
Good morning, Fenton. How's everything, sir?
I'm great. I am cold, just in case you were going to ask.
Yeah, I just realized, what are you on for?
Also, it's my security blanket.
Okay, that I can understand. Mine is a Woody Woodpecker. Yeah. That's actually what mine was. I had a Woody Woodpecker blanket when I was a kid.
Yeah, this is my adult blankie. You know, sometimes when you have that's a whole other conversation. That's another episode. Let's get into
it.
Everyone, welcome to Products of Circumstance, a podcast with Ken Skeen and myself, Fenton Joseph. We discuss mental health and mindset matters through the lens of Black men. We cover topics like family and relationship trauma, relationships with money, self-worth, positive thinking, gratefulness, and so much more. The show is unscripted, unfiltered, and mostly unedited. We choose our topics randomly. Only Ken knows what we're going to talk about. Before we get into that today, it's so funny. Please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and most of all, people, please share with somebody else who's on their own personal development journey as we talk about ours. Maybe there's something here that you hear that can help somebody that you know and love. All right, my friend, what are we talking about today?
Okay, so today we're going to discuss not letting fear hold you back from your journey through life, whatever that may be.
Let's go.
Yeah, let's go, right?
I like go. This one. I love this.
Yeah, so when we say that, it's okay to be scared. It's okay to have fear. Don't let anyone tell you, oh, you should never be scared. Yeah, it's all right to be scared. Sometimes that's what helps motivate you get through a difficult task. Try not to let fear stop you from what you want to do, stop you from what you want to say, stop you from what you want to think. Mm-hmm. You should use it as a catalyst, actually, to help move you forward. I'll use a personal story. So when I was leaving the construction industry, that was in 2008, 2009, and really not knowing what was going on, for anyone listening for the first time, my background is in carpentry, third generation. I was doing construction my entire life. I'm 42 years old now. I was reading blueprints at 13 years old. I was playing with tools on the job site. My dad had a construction company when I was 5 years old, learning the different trades and skills, and worked my way all the way up until my mid-20s, where I became a project supervisor for a company in Long Island, New York. Worked for a couple different companies as a project super / project manager in Manhattan, doing hospital renovations. And then 2008, 2009 bubble hit, where construction took a downfall and I had to change careers. And we want to talk about fear. I had 2 kids at the time. My second child, my son, my oldest son, that is, was about 2 or 3 weeks old.
Oh my God.
And I was laid off. I got laid off. My wife was home with the kids, so she wasn't working at the time. And I did about a year of some odd jobs, commercial roofing. By the way, I've said it before in previous episode. A lot of credit to commercial roofers. I did it for 3 months. Let me tell you something, man. That is no joke. That job is no joke. That is a serious career.
Yeah, you're not getting me up there.
I did just renovations for people, things like that, odd jobs. And then, it came to the point after about a year, my wife's like, babe, we got to get something more stable. Mm. And I went into the automotive industry, and became a salesperson. I went from having this amazing resume of, look, I've owned a company, project super, $3 million build outs.
I am amazing.
I can build a house with my eyes closed. And then and the managers look at my resume and say, this is cute. I don't care what your resume says. This is sales. So figure it out. You've got 30 days. Things are a little different in the industry now. There's more training involved, but you want to talk about fear? Yeah, I was scared. I was a 30-year-old. That was 2010.
He's
that
30.
was I think baby. Like April of 2010. And I was doing something completely different, scared out of my mind. But I knew I had responsibilities at home, and I took that fear and I just tested myself and I moved forward. And, 6 months later, I was top salesperson. 3 years in, and became a manager, a new car sales manager. But fair, going from salesperson to floor manager, yeah, I was like, I was worried. Am I going to be able to close these deals for the salespeople? Am I going to mess up their deal? Mm-hmm. Am I going to be able to do this? And I just fought through it and said, yeah, of course I can do it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is me. I got this. I got me. Mm-hmm. And then becoming a sales manager again, I was fortunate to have wonderful mentors in my life that are still mentors to this day. For me, but again, fear of, am I going to succeed in this? This is something new again, push through it. And that's just my work. That's just work. You want to get real personal with fear. All right. Having a third child. We have 3 children right now. Mm. And fear of, all right, we're doing this all over again.
Okay.
Baby.
I'm going to cut across you just for a split second, because I'm glad that you finally started talking about that. Because I'm like, I wonder if anyone else has picked up on the fact that all of your fear is centered around starting a new job in a new industry. And none of it that you mentioned thus far had to do with the family and like the 2-3 week old at home and the big, like, but, and I'll give it right back to you in a second. But I'll also say that for me, having gone through a situation where I was let go from a job, found out that we were pregnant, and had to figure out, what I was going to do, my fear was not really centered around like the kid. I think I was way more concerned with what I was going to do for work than I was like being a dad. I knew I was going to be a good dad. And I imagine for you, like you're already a dad to 2 kids. So having another one, it's like, was that scary, or was it more like overwhelming, a burden? Like, okay, of all the things you got going on, like diapers.
No. All right, look, baby 1, my daughter, my sweetheart. A little nervousness with that. Whether I wasn't worried about being a great father. I have a great father. I really wasn't worried about that. It was making sure that, am I gonna drop her? Or am I like changing diapers? Changing diapers was not a fear of mine.
Don't think you won't drop your baby.
Older, yeah, right.
You will.
As she gets older, I do have fears of not particularly her, more of the world hurting her emotionally, physically, whatever it may be. I more fear that. Like what was it today? So 3 days ago, she went to the mall for the first time by herself with a friend. I dropped her off. She had a cell phone. The friend's mother stayed in the mall, but not with them. But it was the first time she's 14, soon to be 15 in a couple months. But it's the first time going to the mall without us. I was nervous. I almost stayed in the parking lot. My wife was the one who said, she'll be fine. So-and-so's mom is there with them. Don't worry. And I was like, I can stay in the parking lot. It'll be fine. If she calls me, I'm in there.
I'm creeping. I'm in the stores.
I trust her. I truly, what's good about with our kids, I can actually trust them when they do go out. Like, Dad, we can get some ice cream at the school. They walk into the village. I trust my kids. I just don't trust a lot of people.
Yeah. It's not the kid. The kid's fine.
That us growing up, us growing up, it was, you get on your bike, you ride all day, be home when the lights come on.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you got people out there, human trafficking. I'm not going to get into that, but yeah, you have that fear as a parent. But as a baby, when they were born, and I said anxious, yes. Right. Tired, yeah. Right. No sleep, yeah. But fear of making sure they were
shook.
Okay.
You're not like
nah. I was good on that one. It was mostly work stuff that I had fears. Look at this podcast. This podcast, 6 years of me saying to myself, I'm going to start a podcast. I don't know if I can do it. Maybe I should do some more research. Let me read another book. Let me listen to another audio book. Let me watch another YouTube. Right. Let me watch another. And then finally just saying, let me just call Fenton. Let me just call him and see, pick his brain real quick. But yeah.
So I think like an interesting perspective on fear is like what's not being put out into the world, because of your fear. what are you not accomplishing and who's not benefiting from that? And I'm going to give credit where credit is due to Mario Armstrong. Shout out to my boy Mario Armstrong, who I heard speak in the city, and he put this out there, and he was like, who loses from you not showing up? And I was like, ugh, man, that's so real. Like, we've had lots of people comment, to us about this podcast that we're doing, about how it's helping them. And it's something that's resonated with them, and they needed to hear this and this particular, story that we told or whatever. It's like, oh, I'm going through that too. And it's like, who's not getting what they need? You know what I'm saying? If we get shook and we're like, I don't know if we could do this, and then we don't put it out. I think about it all the time because I've actually done really well on LinkedIn putting out videos, and then I let self-doubt and fear creep in, and I would stop for a while and I get back into it and get busy, and then I pull back. And when I'm in it and I'm showing up consistently, I'm hearing the feedback, and people are telling me like, yes, we need more of this. This is great. It's impacting people. And I let fear, get in the way. It's nothing but that. It's nothing. Me. I was, oh my God, Neil deGrasse Tyson back in there again. I'm very transparent because I think it's important for people to know that people that they see are going through these things as well. People look at me like I'm some type of superhero. Like, oh, Fenton, like you have no problem putting out videos and you can talk. And I wish I could talk like you. It's like, you have no idea. I'm an introvert. I'm wearing a hoodie. I mean, it's a little chilly, but the heat's on, the bill's paid. I like to have things over my ears. It's a little weird. Like, I like to have a hoodie on or something over my ear. It is like a security thing. It makes me feel comfortable. And if people only understood how challenging it is, how much of a mountain it is for me to record a video and put it out. Probably the only reason that I'm on a podcast is because I'm with you. I would not do a podcast by myself. It would not happen. But I have somebody else that's going to show up with me and that I can bounce off of, and we can have a conversation. If I were just staring in the camera by myself, it's probably not going to happen. I'm not going to show up every Thursday and record it. It's probably not going to happen until you make up your mind that you're not going to let fear control, what you do. Disney, Star Wars, you watch Andor?
No, I don't know what that is.
Okay. That's fine. If you're not into Disney, Star Wars, because I keep saying Disney, but Star Wars, which is on Disney Plus, there's a show called Andor. One of the Star Wars flicks, what they started doing is they're taking like characters from these movies and like spinning them off in their own thing. So it's like an Obi-Wan series, and this guy, Cassian Andor, he was in, I think it was in like Rogue One. And I'm only making these little details for people who are in Star Wars so that they can, kind of connect. Anyway, there's a scene where they're going on a mission and he's a mercenary, and the other people that are not mercenaries that have been there, they have a problem with him being there because he's a mercenary. He's getting paid. And he tells them, he's like, look, I'm letting you know I'm a mercenary. And if you have a problem with that, that's fine. But also, if you don't want to be here, right, that's on you. Don't use me as an excuse to, bow out. Oh, he's a mercenary. We're not getting paid, so we're not going to do it. He's like, if you're scared, then that's fine. But there's a difference between being scared and losing your nerve, right?
Yes.
You and I, we, have our own attitudes and opinions about how we look and how we sound on this YouTube and whatever. But we still show up and we still get it done. And, I build websites, you sell cars, and, every sales pitch that we go into, like, it can be intimidating at times, depending on, who we're talking to. But we show up and we plow through it and we close the deals and we get it done. There's a difference between being scared and losing your nerve. And when you lose your nerve, you refuse to show up. You say, I'm just not going to do this anymore. And there's a million reasons why people could lose their nerves. But, and what I love about the show is he was like, I think he accused them of being scared. And then they said, well, are you scared? And he's like, yeah, I'm scared. It's like, why wouldn't I be scared? We're about to go into this military operation. There's going to be people shooting at us. Like, it's crazy out here. Of course I'm scared. But there's a difference between being scared and losing your nerve. So don't lose your nerve. Show up and get it done. I just closed a deal today, and I was super happy. Nice, man. It goes into the my daughter's fund. Everything's just
the ice cream sandwich fund.
Everything's just it's all about her. I'm happy that it was a big client, and it was a little unnerving. You're dealing with people who are a little bit more sophisticated, than other clients. Some clients are more sophisticated than others. And listen, I've done a lot of things, bro. Like when it comes to corporate, like I can hold my own. Like you put me in a boardroom, C-suite people. Like I used to be C-suite. Like you put me in a room, like I'm good. But sometimes this stuff creeps back in. But I didn't lose my nerve. I know that I know what I know, and I'm an expert at what I do. And I came highly recommended, and they acknowledged that. And, I kept my cool. I kept my nerve, and I went through it, and I closed it. And I was super happy at how quickly, it seemed to go. Because I kept saying to myself, like, oh, man, I got to talk to these people. But I also, when it was time to show up, like I just went on. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And we had one really good call where there was a lot of laughter. All my jokes was hitting. And it felt good. I felt like Kobe. I was in the zone.
That's what's up.
You can be scared and still find your way into the zone. Like, don't be scared and and what is it? Jason Tatum. All right. I don't know if you even watch basketball, but Jason Tatum last year in the Celtics went to the finals. And Jason Tatum is, this incredibly talented young basketball player. And he got his team all the way to the finals, the NBA finals. And then they lost. And people were like, oh, he choked. You know what I'm saying? Like, he let like his, emotions, whatever, get the best of him. Like, we'll never know. We'll never know exactly what happened and why they didn't ultimately win, other than the other team was better and scored more points. Because if it were 2-0, they would have lost. But you have to always know that you're capable. People were like, well, he's capable. They could have won. Why didn't he win? It was something up here. So the reason why I'm bringing that up is because I know for me, even when I'm scared, I know that I put in the work.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? That's me tying it up in a bow. For everyone who's wondering where I was going with that. If you do the work, you don't have to be scared. You know that you're good. You know what I mean? Like you can't always control what the outcome is going to be, but you can control, your input. You can control that part of it. And for me, reading the books about design and business, I got like 2 different books that I'm reading right now. Reading books about sales and, reading, books about SEO and, staying up to date with all the latest technology trends and design trends. Like these are the things that I can control. I don't know if the person's going to say yes or no when I go into a pitch, but I know what I'm talking about and I know that I can deliver. And I think a lot of people have fear because they didn't put in the work and they don't know if when it's game time, if they can actually do it, Tatum, personally, if you ask me, I think the Celtics probably should have won. The Warriors were hitting, but I think they had a good enough team, to win. And especially, anyway, if you do the work, I'll be all over the place. If you do the work, you can always have that confidence. And then you won't have regrets either. Like, I'm going to stop for a second because I've been talking for a while. And I'm
happy you touched on that. I want to touch on that. Good. Having regret because of your fear, because that's a big thing. A lot of people, and yes, a lot of people, yes, will regret later on because they feared trying something new. I don't care if it's work related, if it's just a sport or just an activity, people regret later on in life not trying something new. Moving out of state, that's a big one. We live in New York, and what do they call New Yorkers? We're the guards to our own prison.
I never heard that.
My professor said that in college. I was taking a poli-sci course. Graphic designer taking poli-sci. But he said New Yorkers are guards to their own prison. We complain about the taxes. We complain about, the land we live on because you get this small little piece of property that costs you $1 million. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not really.
Not really. We
complain about the amount of how much food costs, how much cost of living is, how much it is to raise a child, yada, yada, yada. The amount of people that just live. But again, we're the guards on prison because a lot of New Yorkers will not leave New York.
Right.
This is New York, staying there for life. But I can't stand the crowd. I can't stand the taxes. I can't stand. But I'm talking even people that live in like middle America and never seen the ocean. We've talked about this before, which we were amazed that there's someone out there never seen the ocean. Crazy. But the fear of just moving or seeing something new or just trying something new in general. How do you know you're not going to be great at it if you don't at least try it? It's a big factor in a lot of people's lives of regret from fear. And I know you made a comment of, well, if you prepare and you're good to go and you know what you're doing and you practice and you got the skill, you shouldn't be afraid. No, I think you still can have fear even with all the practice and your know-abouts. You could still have fear doing something, but use that fear to help project you forward.
Yes.
Use that fear to get you around those obstacles. It's okay.
Yeah.
All right. A lion, the king of the jungle, when they're at that watering hole, if anyone looks at Discovery Channel, that's my thing. I'm not really. I don't really look
like
at
the Lion King.
I don't really look at sports and everything, but I do look at Discovery Channel. I'm big on Food Network, by the way. Yeah.
No doubt.
Anyway, when the lion is at that watering hole, they're scared. They're afraid. They're looking around to see what predators coming at them. They could be an alligator or crocodile that's running up on them and just drags them in.
Right.
They could be what are they scared of? They're also scared of like the big antelopes and not antelopes, is that the buffalo or whatever that can just toss them into the air. They're scared of those animals. An elephant, they look around, but that's fair. Even though they're the king of the jungle and have this roar, they still, and they're prepared for it, quote unquote. Right. They still have fear, but they use that fear and they, you know what? I'm still thirsty. Still got to get to that water. Still got to do what I got to do.
Got to drink.
But I'm going to use this fear to keep me moving forward.
Listen, if they didn't push through the fear, they'd be dead.
Right.
Part of the problem is that it's easy for us to be complacent because if we don't do things, like we'll be okay, to a certain extent. It comes down for me more to like fulfillment. Last episode we talked about having a meaningful life. Capturing moments, creating memories. Like if you don't take the time to push through if you don't put in the effort to push through your fears and to create those moments and to have those memories, like what's your life going to look like? It's going to be a very complacent life. Like I don't want that. That's something I'm super proud of, all the chances that I have taken. I really, really am. Starting a microphone company with my best friend, that was crazy. I had a job. I didn't have to leave. They wasn't getting rid of me. I left. I was in corporate, man. And I said, you know what? I'll go do this microphone thing. We were not making any money whatsoever. I left, bro. I didn't have any money saved up. I took my last check. I got on unemployment. And I was like, let's see how this thing goes. And you know what? We created the first Black-owned microphone company ever in history. And it's still the only one that was ever started by Black people. And we created products that were really, really awesome. And people loved them. And great recordings were made from them. And now my boy is out there doing other amazing stuff in the pro audio world because we took a chance. I saw my wife, I said, hey, she fine. We got to figure this out, a little shook. You're always shook when you see, a beautiful woman. And And I say shook. You're like, shook, but you understand what I'm saying. Nah, some guys be shook. All right, see, listen, I'm speaking to the people here. I'm a man of the people. Some guys are shook.
What do I say? Just say hi.
That's not my lot in life to be scared. I'm like, you just got to try, you know, you just got to go for it. And I think it manifests in a lot of different ways in life too. Like we ended up getting the car, right? The Mazda. There were a lot of other cars that probably made a lot more sense at the time. But we're like, you know what? I don't know. Mazda's always been supposed to be pretty good. Like, you know, let's just go see what's up. We'll just try that. You know, we reached out to you and you're able to hook us up. And we went down there. We didn't even know. I only saw the car in pictures. I didn't even know what it looked like in person. Mm-hmm. We are so happy that we drove like an hour and a half or 2 hours, however long it was, to go to Long Island to get that car that we'd never seen before in that color anyway. And we're like, this thing is amazing. This is like the best decision we ever could have made. I can't believe we're considering getting this other thing. We would have been bored out of our minds with this other car. Like, this thing is sexy. It's fast. It does everything we needed to do. It's amazing. And I'm so happy that we took that leap of faith. I'm so happy that I bought a green hat. It's like, I thought about it for like a split second. And I was like, dude, you really gonna walk around this neon hat? Yeah, with my matching neon shoes. And you know what? If I'm not the life of the party everywhere I go, then I don't know who is. I make fashion choices, you know, that are interesting. I make life choices that are interesting. I just try to capitalize on every moment. You know, just be different, go against the grain. And sometimes, you know, I feel, you know, like a little bit of pause at first, you know, like a little hesitation, a little, you know, like, oh, what might somebody think or whatever. And then I really quickly get over it. Like, who cares?
Yeah, who cares?
You know, I don't have good taste. I'm a tastemaker. There's a difference. I purposely go out of my way to try and live a little bit outside, you know, the box, you know, a bit on the fringe. Not because I'm trying to prove anything to somebody else. It's just the way that I'm wired. You know, I don't ever want to do anything that's mainstream. My music has never been mainstream. And for many years, this is good. For many years, my music has never been center of the road. It's never been mainstream stuff. For the life of me, Ken, I can't seem to make a hip hop track or a pop track that just sounds like everything else that's on the radio. Life would be so much easier. I might be recording this podcast from a mansion if I could have just made my music sound like what was on the radio and I sold a bunch of records. I've been making music for like 2 decades now.
Long time.
Right? I never found that mainstream, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, sound. But it's also the thing that made me who I am as a musician and a producer. It's the thing that got me the Google and got me the Ford and got me the Spotify and Shopify and got me all these different clients is because I'm different. So if I were to wrap that up, you know, don't be afraid to be yourself and to do things differently from how everybody else is doing it. It's actually because of who you are and because you're special and unique and different that people are going to appreciate you and they'll love what you do. I'm telling you, it is scary to constantly go against the grain. Even with my website business, my sites don't look like other people's websites. Mm-hmm. And trust me, I've got 1,000,001 reasons to just build websites that look like everything else that's out there. But Ken, it's just not the way God made me. I see things differently. My design eye is different. And I like to be left field and come from left field. And that's what I do. And it works. And I've had enough evidence of my life that Fenton, even my name, Fenton.
What does that mean? Do you know the meaning of it?
It means different. No, I'm just kidding. I have no idea what that means.
Can you use it in a sentence?
Right.
I'm sorry.
Even my name has been something that's shown me like, dude, you're just different, and there's nobody else like you, and you just have to be comfortable in your skin and walk this life as Fenton Joseph, because there's no one else like you, and that's helped me a lot to just get over the fear of being myself. I don't want to ramble, but maybe there's somebody who's fearful of just being themselves. Don't be. It's what makes you special.
You weren't rambling. That was amazing. Thank you for sharing.
That's what the teleprompter.
The teleprompter.
I just read what's up there, man.
Well, listen, we're not going to drag this on, but listen, don't let fear hold you back. Try something new on a daily, a weekly, whatever. Just try something new. Try something. Here's your food for thought. Go out there. There's something you've been procrastinating about because you're just scared you may fail. Try it. That book you've been wanting to pick up, read it. That activity you want to try, why not? Try something new that you've been fearing for a while. See what the outcome is. You might just be good at it. You never know. All right? Be positive out there.
Don't eat lo mein tonight. You have lo mein every Thursday night.
Oh, gotcha.
Get something else off the menu. I'll just say this. I started keeping my drone, I'm a drone pilot, and I started keeping my drone in the car because time and time again, I would drive past some beautiful place and I'm like, oh, I'm showing my drone on me. I would take some pictures right now. I said, I'm not going to let that happen anymore. I'm going to have my drone on my person so I can take advantage of the moment. Maybe that's not necessarily related to having fear, but I think it does speak to putting yourself in a situation where you don't have any regrets about things that you didn't do. Because maybe I'm like, oh, we're going to a wedding, so let me not bring my drone because I don't know, people might think I'm weird or something. It's like, whatever with all that, right? Just do it. You see that attractive person across the street, go cross the street, go say hello, ask for the raise. We could come up with just so many more things that we could think of, bro. Just do it. Don't be scared. I want to see somebody put in the comment section something that they did after listening to this. It was like, yo, I was scared. I did it anyway. I did it scared. And, here's what happened.
I like that.
What are you going to do today?
Do it scared.
Hashtag do it scared.
What am I? Are you asking me or?
Yeah. Is there anything that you have been fearful of and, you need to go ahead and do?
I do it on a daily basis. So.
Raising kids.
I've learned to live in the do it with fear, do it scared. That slogan, do it scared.
Yeah.
It definitely has opened a lot of doors for me. So I'm actually walking that path. I practice what I preach.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm not better than anyone. It's not that. Look, it takes time.
Right.
But just jump. I've done that too. Skydived. It's great.
Skydive. I'm definitely not doing that. I'm scared and I'm not doing it, and that's okay. I can. Yeah. That's one I can live with.
I've swam with sharks. Did that too.
Yeah. I'm not doing that either. This is great. Keep it going. Hey, yesterday I was at this event.
Yeah.
Keep going. I'm not doing that either. What else you got?
Don't do this, but yeah, I've been on motorcycles that went.
I knew that's what you were gonna say. I was going to say it. Motorcycle at 120 miles an hour. Yeah, I'm not doing that.
120, that's third gear.
It's like super slow.
Don't do that, by the way, audience. Stay away from motorcycle.
Oh my God.
Organ donors. Stay away from it.
So listen to this. I was in the city at an event yesterday.
Yeah.
I got there on a total fluke. One of the panelists on this at this event, I know him and personally. And one of the other panelists, one of my best friends, works with him. And I thought it was going to be in Atlanta, Georgia, because that's where these guys are based. So I said, hey, are you going to be at this thing? You should reach out to this guy on the panel. And he says, yeah, I'm going to be there. You want to come through? I was like, come through? What, to Atlanta? He said, no, it's in New York City. I said, oh, okay, cool. You're going to be in town. Cool. So I was like, I was like, I can't go because I got, I gotta pick up the kid from school, so forth, and blah, blah, blah. My wife was like, no, I'll work from home. You go ahead, go have fun. Do your thing. It'll be great. I was like, nah, I really shouldn't. I got things to do. I'm gonna be responsible. She was like, just go, it'll be fine. So I went yesterday, had an amazing time, absolutely awesome. Again, Mario Armstrong, one of the speakers. One of the other speakers was Mel Robbins, and then also Jesse Itzler, who is Zico Water, Marquee Jets. He's an owner of the Atlanta Hawks. So, Westbury Connect. Well, maybe you don't know him personally, but D-Wiz, he goes on tour with Jesse as a DJ. So, he walked me in, I'm back behind stage, whatever, and, kicking it. After the show, anyway, I'm just giving some context. After the event, we're standing outside talking. Jesse comes by. Now, I've been meaning to try to get at Jesse for a minute because I want to get him on the Schools Over Now What podcast. And I just can't seem to make that happen for whatever reason, but we'll make it happen eventually. And I'm like, shake his hand, Fenton. I'm like, just say hello, shake his hand. You could kind of see on his face, look, the man just left his soul on that stage talking for like 45 minutes straight. I'm sure he was very tired. The car is right there. I'm sure he just wants to get in the car and roll out. I'm like, just say hello, shake his hand, man. Tell him he did a great job. Because I really did feel like he really did touch my spirit. He said some things. I was like, it was an amazing speech. And I did. And I hit him up. And Jesse, okay, la, 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 la. And then D-Wiz is like, yo, these are my people. Jesse, meet my people. La, 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 la. So all right, that's cool. He still doesn't follow me. But I tagged him in the post and he left a comment underneath it. I was like, oh, that's really cool. You know what I'm saying? Like he's big deal, whatever. But he's also a Long Island guy. He's from Roslyn. So, it's a bunch of Westbury guys, and then him repping Roslyn was out there, kicking it, talking for a little bit. Listen, I'm gonna become friends with Jesse at some point. and he's gonna be on the podcast. And the reason why I brought that up is because for a second I was like, he doesn't want to talk to nobody, man. It's like, dude, just say hello. All right. What I should have done would have been like the second degree of fear busting would have been taking a picture. And I don't get like starstruck or anything like that. You know what I'm saying? It's not about that. It's just, listen, we understand the world that we live in. It's social media, you leverage, these things. Listen, somebody sees Jesse Itzler comment on your page and it's like, what does Fenton do? I'm gonna leave it at that. Y'all figure out what you got to do to break through the fear, overcome the fear. I met Jesse Itzler. That was pretty cool. He's a lot taller than I imagined. Fun things happen when you push through the fear. Got a picture with Nancy Pelosi. That was pretty fun. It's like, picture with Nancy Pelosi. There's lots of people in front of us. It's like, just go. My wife, that was my wife. It's like, come on, let's go. It's like, all right, fine. Find you somebody that helps you push through the fear. Yes. Friend, spouse, grandma. Find somebody who's fearless. My wife is fearless. My wife don't care about nothing. She will climb over a fence that says "Do not enter." She will.
Did that plenty of times.
She will run up on anybody in the street to say hello. She's fearless. She's a lot more fearless than I am. And that's why she's a great person for me to be married to. She puts me in rooms that I might not have been able to get myself into. Ken will be here all day. Thanks for this amazing topic. I hope people got something out of it. And that's it. That's all I got.
That's all I got. Remember to subscribe.
Like,
hit the
follow,
notification bells, and all that,
and share.
Stuff. And please share. If we left a gem with you, share it with someone they can use it. I'm doing your stuff right now.
Sounds good coming from you, man. That's why there's two of us.
Love you, bro. Enjoy your day.
Love you too, man. Peace.